Good morning, and it's still morning. It's about 5 to 12 and we're on Monday the 11th June. 11th June. Been a few weeks since I talked to you, so I thought it's about time. Just had a quick chat. Don't know, this morning I feel a bit fed up. Not depressed or anything like that, just that feeling. Get a drink. Got a drink. Got to have a drink. St Austell's Brewery. Cornish Pale Ale. 4.2%. Not bad. I says, I feel a bit fed up. So what's been going off? Well, just over a week, it's my just under a week now, it's my birthday, so I've got to plan something for that, for the Saturday. Don't know what yet. I haven't got a clue what I want to do, or I think it'll be a case of taking the day as it is. Might go out for the day or whatever. Have to see how I feel. My friend Joe's in Durham, enjoying the beer, enjoying the cathedral, enjoying the beer, enjoying the cathedral, enjoying the beer. So I know he's having a good time. I was going to go up, but I've had a few bills to pay, so let's cut that short. Besides that, started planning for Christmas. Yes, started planning for Christmas. Believe it or not, it's the 6th month. And it's flown. Been buying gifts for the great niece. Bought a great collection of, that's what we'll talk about, fairy tales. Bought a great collection of fairy tale books. Oh, classic collection. Here they are. That type of thing. I don't know if you have them in other countries. It's a company called Ladybird. You know, they got things like the Three Billy Goats Gruff, Goldilocks, Hansel and Gretel, Sleeping Beauty, etc. Rapunzel. So I bought a collection of books because they do like reading to her and they want her to get a love of books. So why talk about fairy tales? Well, it's quite funny. I was talking to my sister, told her I bought this collection of books, and she said to me, I hope they're politically correct. And I went, what do you mean politically correct? The fairy stories, fairy tales. She says, well, believe it or not, people have complained about them not being politically correct. I said, what are you on about? The example she gave, Sleeping Beauty. We all know the tale of Sleeping Beauty. She pricks the thumb on a spindle, she falls asleep, the whole castle falls asleep, basically falls into like a coma. Now, in the toned down version, we'll come on to the proper version, in the toned down version that's written for kids, she can only be woken up by true love's first kiss. The prince scales the tower, opens the window, there's Sleeping Beauty laid on a bed, fast asleep in a coma. He bends over and kisses her. She wakes up, they live happily ever after. That's the story we've grown up with. That's the story that Disney made. Somebody's complained from this political correct group that is sexual harassment because she did not give her permission for the prince to kiss her. Now, just take that in for a sake. Did not give him permission. She's in a coma, basically. The spell put on her by the good fairies is that she could only be woken up by true love's first kiss. So these people are wanting the schools to ban Sleeping Beauty. Now we'll get back to the original version. I don't know if it agrees, but one of the early versions is definitely politically incorrect. In that story, a king finds Sleeping Beauty, rapes her. She produces these two sons. The only way she wakes up is because one of the children is sucking on her finger and pulls out the bit of thread that's stuck in her finger that has casted this charm on her. The king confesses to his wife what he's done, and she invites the children over in an attempt to kill them and bake them in a pie to feed to her husband, but the cook doesn't do it and hides the children, and then she invites Sleeping Beauty over in an attempt to kill her. The king finds out. He kills his wife by burning her at a stake, marries Sleeping Beauty, they all live happy. If you want to scare kids, tell them that version of the story. And actually, Grimm's fairy tales, when you read, I've read a few of the original versions, I can't remember if that is in the Grimm's fairy tales. Some of them are quite dark and some of them quite bloody and terrifying. For the kids, they've been toned down a lot. But yeah, they want to ban it. They want to ban Sleeping Beauty, not Sleeping Beauty, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because it, what's the word I'm looking for? It stereotypes the woman's role. Basically, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, cooking, cleaning for the Seven Dwarfs, and you know, she's basically, as they put it, a house slave, you know, housewife, where she should... If you want total equality, why isn't she down the mine? Remember, Snow White went into this house. She wasn't invited in. She literally breaking and entering. She's got no money, so she's doing it by trade. She cleans the house, cooks and stuff like that, while they provide the food and the home for her. Another one was Pied Piper of Hamelin. Obviously, all of you know, Pied Piper gets rid of the rats. The town mayor and people refuse to pay him, so he lures the children away. Child abduction they're complaining about. Child enslavement, probably abuse. No mention about the townsfolk refusing to pay him his fee. Also, one of the children who doesn't make it, and the only child that survives is a lame child. Well, you can't call them lame, they are physically disabled, and come on, these are children's fairy tales. It doesn't portray the political correct life. No, what you do is you tell these children the fairy tales, and then when they get old enough you actually tell them. I mean, no child believes that there's giants in the sky with gold. Don't believe in fairy tales after the age of fairies and goblins and that type of thing after the age of 10. Don't believe that cats can walk on hind legs with boots on and talk as Puss in Boots does. And I actually said to my sister and friend Jo, God help them when they get onto Shakespeare and Dickens. I mean, Dickens, child poverty, workhouses, starvation, selling a child for labour, Oliver Twist, the Beadle takes a child out, boy for sale, boy for sale, boy for sale. Gang of thieves, cutthroats, murder. This is one of the classic stories. Oliver Twist. Shakespeare, you got incest, murder. What do you call it when you kill a king and queen? Regina-cide or something like that. Regina-cide, Macbeth, madness, witches, black magic. I wonder if they want to ban Shakespeare from schools and Dickens from schools. Basically, come on, let kids be kids. Let them be kids, let them enjoy the fairy tales. When they're old enough, then you explain them that's not real life. That's not how the world works. I just thought it was hilarious. Political correct fairy tales. I mean, Snow White. Not Snow White, I'm going on Snow White now. Sleeping Beauty. How does she wake up if she doesn't have true love's first kiss? Does she lay in there for a coma for the rest of her life? Probably they want it more politically correct to include the LGBT community. So instead of being kissed by a prince, she was kissed by a princess, another princess. Then of course the papers ran with it, you know. Red Riding Hood, the wolf, after eating grandma and dressing in the clothes, he wasn't imitating grandma, he was expressing his transgender issues. You know, and things like that. The papers ran with it. The papers had a field day with it. Yeah, but I just thought it was hilarious. I mean, I grew up with these fairy tales. I grew up with Shakespeare, Charles Dickens. And I turned out normal. So yeah, I started planning for Christmas, bought a few presents. I like to start early, start again. Also, you see stuff, and I've done this in past, it'll say limited offer, you know, only 3 in stock. And you think, oh, I'll leave it for a couple of weeks. They sell out, and they never come back. So, I thought, that happened to me last year with about 3 presents, and I thought, a couple of things I've seen and said, you know, only 3 in stock. I thought I'm going to get them now. Make sure I've got them. But yeah. Besides that, what else has gone off? Nothing really. It's been... I finished the treatment with mental health, finished my CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, talked about worry, you know, I think I've talked about this before, but finished all that sort of thing. So I've got on the computer all the files and stuff and all the advice and saved in a special folder, so if I start getting that way again, get the information out, read it, follow the instructions, do the exercises, etc. Like I says, I'm feeling down today. I'm not feeling depressed or anything like that. It's just that can't be bothered attitude. I've got to get ready. I've got to go out and finish the garden. I started trimming it. And last week, what happened last week? Something happened last week. Oh, I didn't feel. I woke up on the Friday with on the Monday with a right headache. That I thought going out in the sun with a headache is just going to make it worse. So I didn't do any last week, so I must get on with it this week and get it done. So besides that, really got nothing to update you on. Like I said, I can't remember if I told you, but I booked for Blackpool next year. I really missed it this year. I really missed it. But I booked for Blackpool next year. I usually go down on the Thursday, which means paying for an extra night. But this year we're still going down on Thursday, but we're not staying at the hotel. They're charging a ridiculous price. I think it's about £90 odd for one night. It's just absurd. When down the road there's a travel lodge that'll charge you £22 for the night. Okay, then evening meal. Breakfast is not included, but evening meal, you go to one of these Wetherspoons, one of these carvery places. You can get a decent meal for a tenner. Breakfast, you go down to one of the local greasy calves and get a breakfast if you feel like one for a fiver. Doing it that way, I've worked out I'll be saving 55 quid. So I'm not booking into the hotel. Booked in from Friday to the Monday. But can't book the travel lodge yet, because when you look on the dates, you know how you can book in advance. May's not open yet, so it won't be open to about July time. But if I book early enough, it's £22. If you book closer, it's something like 40 quid. But all because they've got confirmed bookings and you're paying, and the interest is being made on your money that you've paid it. You don't have to pay as much. So besides that, nothing to report. So I think I'm going to upload this, finish my beer, and see if I can find the energy to go out and do some work in the garden. I must get it done because the grass is getting rather high. I mean, we are talking rather high. We're talking waist high. It's a job I hate doing. I used to have a beautiful garden, but then I got bad neighbours. Then the idiot next to me now. Just lost the interest. But I bought some proper industrial weed killer, so I'm going to kill everything off and then lay it fallow for a year, keep digging it over, keep weed killing it, then probably lay a proper lawn at the back and the front. So with that, I'll bid you all good day. Speak again soon.